Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wissman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another crazy edition of Crime and Sports. We are going to dip back into Jayson Williams.
Great.
He's headed towards trial for definitely for shooting a limo driver and then wiping his fingerprints from the gun and trying to put the gun in the fucking dead man's hands.
And having everyone attest to the fact.
Which is, and then pressuring anybody on the scene to say that.
Go along with his story.
And having an off-duty cop help him do that as well, which is...
Wow,
we're through the looking glass here in terms of athlete arrogance. I don't think we've ever been here before to this level of arrogance. This is new. Even for Crime and Sports, this is a new level of ego.
They gave him so much money for nothing. He really
Holy shit.
He really thinks he's a big deal.
He really does. We'll get to all that. First of all, shutupandgivememurder.com. Get everything there, all your merchandise, tickets for live shows. Come, or actually don't come. Stay home and see us on the virtual live show. It is October 31st, Halloween night. Yeah. We're going to have costumes just like a regular live show, except you're in your house rather than, we're not. We'll be at my house, actually. Kinda, sorta. We'll be in a studio at my house doing this for you, but it's just like a regular live show. You'll love it. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all the bonus stuff.
That's it,
And you sign up for that. You get shout outs at the end of the show. And of course, hundreds and hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard before. New ones every other week, and we'll figure out what those are soon. Before that, never mind. Let's get into this.
Here we go.
Let's talk about Mr. Jayson Williams here.
Okay.
Like I said, we left off with him in kind of
trial.
It's all pre-trial stuff. He has so much money that he can delay things a lot, an awful lot.
He tried to make the state of New Jersey tap.
Yeah, he tried to basically outlast them. But the problem is you don't have more money than a state, no matter how much money you have.
Theirs keeps replenishing.
Yeah, they'll just get more. They'll get more, whereas your leg is fucked up and no one's going to ever give you any more money.
Get more,
So, it's interesting because we're going to do as a bonus episode one of these days the trial of Snoop Dogg back in the day for his murder trial.
Oh, yeah,
we'll do that.
Murder was the case.
Yeah, and I recently saw a thing with him where he said it costs more than $10 million to get him out of that. In lawyers' fees. The lawyers cost more than $10 million to get out from a murder charge. That's what good lawyers cost if you want to, mount experts and have all that kind of shit. So Jayson,
prove you didn't do it.
Yeah, so Jayson Williams is paying out his ass for these lawyers just to keep continuing the fucking thing and try to outlast the state of New Jersey. So November 4th, 2003, they've set the trial date for the off-duty cop who is accused of tampering with witnesses and coming over. And, basically he called his cop buddy, allegedly, and the guy came over and cleaned up the mess for him and told him, you say this, you say that, and we'll all just say this. So I guess this is Victor Ashrafi. That's the judge. I'm sorry. That's not the cop here. The cop is Eric Elena. That's right. That was his name. He's accused of tampering with witnesses. And so they're talking about a trial for him as well, which is pretty fucking fun, obviously, because that's just dumb. I mean, Jayson Williams, he shot a guy and did all that, but this guy was at home. He wasn't even here. That is wild. He came over to do this shit. I guess he was at the tavern with them earlier that night and then didn't come back to the house.
Bar with them.
He went to the bar with him, and then he came over later on. So they said the judge says here that the state will be permitted to introduce testimony at trial, provided the prosecutors do not refer to the incident during opening statements, which is very fucking interesting here. So that's how they're going to do. I guess Elena drove to Williams' house and just, started telling everybody what to do is the allegations here. Started saying, you do this, you do that, you say this. If we do that, no one will bother us, I guess. Okay. So December 31st, 2003, still waiting, obviously, on Jayson Williams' trial. Mm-hmm. There is an article that says ex-NBA star could build senior center.
Ouch.
Before or after his murder trial? Which one? Before or after, man? So I guess they said Jayson Williams may step in to build the city's long-awaited senior center, a space for performing arts, I guess, and a space for performing arts. They said this is 2 weeks before he's supposed to stand trial, and they're talking about that the city agreed to allow Williams' foundation to construct the center on East Front Street. The deal would save the city at least $3 million in construction costs.
Oh, by him footing it.
That's
obviously
terrific. Yeah, they're going to spend it in legal fees on the delays anyway. So both sides stress that the deal is far from finalized, but city officials expressed hope that the Jayson Williams Foundation, which he's been involved with in charitable shit, will make good on the offer. The mayor said, this is a great financial deal if it comes to fruition for the city. It's a great gift to the city from the Williams Foundation. You'd think the mayor would say, we're going to find out if he's a murderer first, but then after that, if he's cool... If he's cool, we'll take his money, but otherwise, this is a little crazy. So, wow, I guess Williams Foundation would be the city would lease the property to the Williams Foundation for $1 a year for 12 years. Once the center is built, the city would pay the foundation no more than $20,000 a month in rent, and at the end of 12 years, the city would own the center. Oh. So he's going to make it all back.
Yeah.
That's
through rent costs.
Through rent costs, he's basically going to make it back, and I'm sure there's some loopholes where he donated. It gets a huge write-off for that, and then he gets paid rent,
and all the way back to the original cost, and probably more than,
and then I guarantee you, when they actually hand it over, there's another big tax break for handing it over to the city as well, too. So I guarantee you he'll end up making more money off of this than he's getting. It's a great deal for him. So the city's been working on finding housing for the senior center since a 10-year lease expired several years ago. Seniors didn't want to house the center in the Teppers building or in a former armory, and were holding out for a new center downtown. So there you go. Wow, beggars are being choosers there. Jesus Christ. We have nowhere to live. I'd like it to be closer to downtown. This is what we got, Grandpa. Sorry.
Look, man, location.
Fuck you want from me. Now, January 16th, 2004, they're trying to pick a jury here, and Jayson Williams' lawyer is arguing that the jury should be a cross-section of the community. So a Superior Court judge, this article says, admonished an attorney for Jayson Williams on Thursday after the defense lawyer suggested that a potential juror should be selected because she's black. No other reason. You can't want someone or get rid of someone strictly because of their race. That's not really part of the jury system.
That feels also
dirty. It feels a little dirty. The manslaughter trial of Williams here is to get underway this week, they're saying. They had originally 60 jurors, and then they have to pick the final 16 after that. The sweet 16 coming from that.
16?
A lot of times they do that. A lot of states, they do 12 and then 4 alternates.
Oh, 4 alternates.
Yeah, especially if it's a longer trial. Sometimes jurors will get sick. Something will happen. Or, who knows? Their husband could get hit by a car and they have to take care of their kids. You never know.
We should do it with 32, and then throughout the trial start narrowing it down, and then eventually it's just the playoffs, and then you get one guy that decides.
Just one person. It's just him. We have a council of 3 at the end. By 2-1 vote. That's what happens.
Like the Super Bowl. One crowned Super Bowl champion who gets a ring and everything for deciding your fate.
Just you. Everybody be trying to get off of it. I don't want to be here anymore.
I don't want the ring.
The issue of race was raised in court Thursday after prosecutors asked Coleman to excuse a black woman who said her husband, a professional basketball player in Europe, had played several friendly games with Williams at the Somerville YMCA. Yeah, she should be dismissed.
Yeah.
Your husband knows him, and he's a basketball player. It's just all a little.
She's got a little bit of bias.
Yeah. Although the woman's. Yeah, she's a little biased. Although the woman said she and Williams had never formally met except for a quick hello. Well, how many jurors do you. I guarantee you in your entire county, there's probably 16 people that have never met Jayson Williams at all, even as a quick hello. Pick them, please. How's that?
Also, it could go one way or the other. She certainly has a taste for basketball players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She tastes one a lot.
Yeah.
Then you've also got
hopefully for his sake.
Would she be bitter towards him for playing in the NBA and thinking her husband's better than him?
Who knows?
Either way, you don't want that woman on the jury.
You don't want either way. Just a quick. I don't know him as much for just a quick hello. That's too much. Still, way too much knowing a quick hello. At the YMCA once. Her husband has played with him several times during the last 2 years. During the summer, the YMCA holds the pickup games on mostly afternoons, and you show up and play. Obviously, it's a pickup game. The couple also attended the same high school as Williams, Christ the King High School in Middle Village, New York, in Queens there, although she and her husband graduated some years before Williams. So they're even alums of the same place. Yeah. When the prosecutor asked the woman if she could set her relationship with Williams aside and be impartial, she replied, knowing the defendant the way I do, I would be concerned if I could separate the two. So she didn't even say, no, I barely know the guy. I could judge him fine. She said, I don't know if I could be fair. Goodbye. Bye. Race, anything else doesn't fucking matter. You know him and you're not sure you can put that aside. See ya.
Bye.
But Williams' attorney, Joseph Hayden, told the judge that the defense was trying to secure a cross-section of the community, which includes African Americans, and there shouldn't be a different standard. No, there shouldn't be a different standard. Therefore, any juror of any color says, I know him and I don't know if I could be impartial. Yeah. Goodbye.
We should have plenty of people.
Plenty of people. The judge, visibly angry, said, the DA, visibly angry, said he was insulted by the implication. He said, in case there's any misconception, it's certainly insulting to suggest that anyone in this room is making any decisions based on race. It doesn't matter to me what race the person is, but whether or not they're qualified. And I think it's insulting to suggest we have to qualify someone because of their race. Yeah. So the defense attorney said he didn't do anything wrong, and it was his right under the Constitution to get a fair cross-section of the community. The DA then excused the woman, citing her personal connection to Williams. They said the attorneys, attempted to decide the whole thing, and the judge had to figure it out. So there you go. They said they're going to add at least 20 more potential jurors to the pool, apparently. So, yeah, that's how that goes. Jayson Williams' spokesperson, though, said the attorneys attempted to keep this juror in the pool because they strongly believed that based upon the rules that this juror should not have been excused from this case. I can't imagine arguing that in court with a straight face. She said the words, I don't know if I could be impartial.
Bye.
Whatever the reason is, you're gone. I don't
See you
know.
around.
Well, we need people who go, I know I can be impartial. Fine. You're good. Holy fucking shit. That is wild. They said in all, 18 people have been selected. 16 people have been excused for various reasons, including economic hardship. It's going to be a 2-month-long trial. So
it's going to be ugly. Yeah.
That is a fucking lot, man. An awful lot here. So Jayson Williams said the shooting was a tragic accident and will appear, this is right before the trial, will appear with his pregnant wife, Tanya, on 2020 with Barbara Walters.
Of course they will. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to go on there and cry and say it was horrible.
Sympathy and shit. Yeah.
Whole time, one hand on his wife's belly.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Comfort that woman. She's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Hey, please, Barbara, come give her a hug. One person's not enough. So in the interview, Williams said he was terrified of going to jail and said he visits Christoffi's grave weekly. He visits the dead limo driver's grave. Yeah. The guy who he couldn't even give the dignity of telling the truth of how he fucking died. Wanted his family to believe he shot himself in the chest for some reason while you swam in a pool to get the gunshot residue off of you. Are you joking, bro? This is fucking ridiculous.
Go see him and pray that his ghost will help you.
Unfucking believable. That is, wow. So they asked the couple why they decided to be interviewed, and they said, in light of the barrage of negative press, Jayson Williams and it's almost like he shot a guy. It's super weird.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just keeps getting these negative articles about him. Jayson Williams and his wife, Tanya, thought it was necessary to correct the inaccurate and misrepresented information. Wow. This guy's got huge balls. I mean,
truly, yeah.
His book shouldn't have been called Loose Balls. It should have been called Huge Balls.
The biggest you've ever seen.
Giant fucking collunes is what it should have been called. January 21st, 2004, there's testimony of a witness saying that he staged the suicide. Yeah. This is going to appear, the interview with Dean Bumbacco. Hey, Deanie Bumbacco. Yeah. Sounds made up. Is airing on Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. Oh. And he was a man who was at the mansion when the guy was killed, and he says that Williams tried to make it look like he was like the guy killed himself. So he's saying this in the court of public opinion here. Yeah. So they said the broadcast comes as jury selection continues, and the thing is, a judge is then going to issue a thing saying, everybody stop giving interviews who's involved in this case.
Stop talking.
Yes. If you are a potential witness, stop giving interviews because you're tainting. We're having a hard enough time finding a jury pool, and then you're going on 2020 and shit. Stop.
You're ruining everything.
Fucking ridiculous. So this guy said, first he wiped the prints down, then he put it in Gus's hands and tried to put it and close Gus's hand on it, which that's the thing that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Is it that doesn't work? It doesn't look like.
It doesn't matter how much you grip it. It's not like eyes that'll shut.
No, because it doesn't
grip a hand. Right.
Nope. It just looks like an action figure. You stuck a gun in their hand. That's what it looks like. So the cops always know that shit. Later, this guy says that Williams told everyone to say that they were all downstairs when this guy went up and killed himself on his own here. So according to the transcript, this guy recalled how confident Jayson seemed at dinner at the Mountain View Chalet in Hunterdon County prior to the shooting, telling the group, quote, "I'm the king of New Jersey. My money is as long as train smoke." That is some shit.
King of New Jersey.
The king of New Jersey. Me.
Train smoke money. That's
my
how long.
Money's as long as train smoke. He was bragging to people.
Wow.
I'm the king of New Jersey as he limps around. Listen, Mr. fucking 11 points a game at your peak. Yeah. Calm down. Are you fucking joking? So the guy went on to say it was like he was back in his element. Now it's an NBA, it's a reunion, so they're just going on, and they're telling stories and stories. Now the alcohol's starting to flow more and more, and every story is bigger and better. A night of bullshitting and, all that. A statement issued by Williams' public relations representative to HBO said, during the course of this case, we've been faced with countless inaccuracies, false statements, and skewed allegations. Mr. Bumbacco's statements are no different. His credibility and motive will be exposed. So he's expected to testify at the trial, this guy, obviously, here, clearly. So now, January 21st, 2004, that's when the judge orders everybody to shut the fuck up. It's like the next day after all this. Enough is enough now. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Button up them lips. Now, February 5th, 2004 is when a very nasty story about Jayson Williams comes out.
Oh?
Very nasty story, saying that he shot his own Rottweiler to death. Jayson, this is a month before the chauffeur shooting, by the way.
What?
He shot his own Rottweiler to death after losing a $100 bet with a friend of his. He was mad losing $100. Even
that
though
had nothing to do with the dog.
No, it wasn't like, it wasn't like that at all.
Like he bet on the Bengals and they didn't cover.
He shot the dog.
Oh my God.
Like back in the day, like a joke of someone gets mad, comes home, punches his kid, kicks his dog. This guy shoots his dog. Even though his money's as long as train smoke, $100. So shot his Rottweiler to death. This was 6 months before the shooting of the limo driver.
I wouldn't care if it's 6 years. That's horrible.
Fucking believe it. Unbelievable. After firing 2 rounds into Zeus, his dog.
Oh, Jesus.
A liquored up Williams loaded 2 more shells into a shotgun. That's his just walking around the house gun. A loaded shotgun. Pointed it at NBA player Dwayne Schnitz. How the fuck did you say this? Schinitz, I think it was. Shinzus. SCHINTZIUS. Shinzus. I can't remember how the fuck you say his name, but I remember him very clearly.
I don't remember him. Nope. What? That guy played in the NBA?
He looks like Brian Bosworth.
Yeah.
With brown hair.
He looks like the father of the Incredibles.
Yeah, he's got the squarest jaw I've ever seen him at.
Squarest whole head, James.
No need.
He's a blockheaded motherfucker. I've never seen a blockhead like that.
Never punch that guy in the head. Nothing will come of it. Look at his neck, too, how thick it is. It's huge.
I can barely tell because of the mullet.
Holy shit, huge. And it's like a dry, like flowy mullet, too. It's like really... It's a real fucking mullet. That's a real mullet,
he has
man.
Thin-ass hair, but he grew a lot of it.
So I'm just going to call him Dwayne because it's his last name. I can't remember how to do it.
His name matches that hair and head, that's for sure.
It absolutely does. So anybody named Dwayne should have that hair, I feel like. White guys named Dwayne should certainly have flowy,
isn't that the name of
wispy
the fucking...
mullets.
The bounty hunter? Isn't that his real name, Dwayne?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't that his kid's name? I don't fucking remember.
I don't know.
Who cares?
Doesn't matter. That guy, too.
Fuck him hard. Fucking idiot. So he loads the shotgun back up, points it at Dwayne, Mr. Mullet, and said, quote, "Shinbone, get this fucking dog off my porch or you're next." So he made another NBA player then fucking clear his dead dog that he just murdered off the porch.
Called him Shinbone? That's his name?
Shinbone. That's Shin is the Shinsis, Shinnis or whatever, Shinsis, and so he called him Shinbone because it's just much easier to pronounce.
Yeah.
Get this fucking dog off my porch or you're next. So pick up a dead, bloody, wounded dog, the dead dog that I just shot, or else I'm going to shoot you. Which, again, that's a felony, I believe, to point a shotgun at someone and threaten to kill them.
Threatening him.
Yeah.
Certainly attempted murder, right? Assault with a deadly weapon, but minimum.
Very minimum, I would say. And also improper disposal of an animal cruelty probably as well, you could add to that.
There's that, too, yeah.
So the prosecutors are asking the judge to permit Dwayne's testimony here, which the defense lawyers are calling false and a smear.
Oh.
Why would Shinbone make this up?
Oh, Shinbone.
What the hell Shinbone got in? He's got no meat in this fucking fire. So the prosecutors also wanted the jury to hear another tale about a boozed up Jayson Williams being arrested for firing in the parking lot at the hubcaps there.
Right.
The judge ruled that the 2 stories were too inflammatory to be heard by jurors.
I don't need anybody to know that story.
Like, okay, I'll give you the one in the parking lot because that was years ago, and
no victims,
and
nobody's
there's
around.
no one was shot. It showed no cruelty or disregard for human life. Essentially, he was shooting at an empty truck in an empty parking lot, so that's fine. Shooting your fucking dog with with a shotgun in your fucking house, which is crazy. Then, for no reason, by the way. Which is a big deal, then pointing it at a fucking ex-teammate and telling him he's going to kill him too. That is really relevant within 6 months of you murdering someone, quote unquote, allegedly. So, holy fucking shit, man. Before the judge ruled, they said the prosecutors had learned about the shooting of Zeus from an anonymous letter sent to them after Williams was charged with the killing. Investigators then tracked down old Shinbone, and he spent a year on the nets in the mid-'90s. Shinbone told prosecutors that he'd been living and training for a comeback at Williams' mansion in August of 2001 when he, Williams, and another friend, Chris Dockery, went out eating and drinking at the Mountain View Chalet in Asbury. That's his spot. That's his spot on the King of the World.
Yep.
That was the same restaurant where they all went before the thing. Shinbone told investigators that when they returned to the mansion, that he bet Williams $100 that he could drag Zeus outside the house. That's what it was.
Okay.
So Williams said there's no way you can do that. Okay.
So because his dog is no good.
But the Shinbone was smart about first of all, don't do this to your fucking dog, number one.
What are you doing?
But Shinbone didn't grab him by the collar and try to pull him, which would be the normal. He grabbed his hind legs and pulled him, which a dog can do nothing about.
Can do nothing, yeah.
So he grabbed the dog by the hind leg, pulled it outside, and then said he wanted his money. So Williams, I guess Shinbone said his demeanor became very serious at that point, and he said, okay, I'll pay you the $100. And then he left the room and came back with a shotgun and shot the fucking dog. So he said that this is in Shinbone's words, the words of Shinbone, quote, blasts one round into the side of the dog's head, or into the side of the dog, and another one into the side of Zeus's head, almost decapitating him.
Poor Zeus.
I want Jayson Williams in jail really bad right now.
Why did we... Look.
Fuck this guy in his asshole, in his rich asshole.
Wow. We fucking filleted Michael Vick's career for the
Filleted
same
him.
shit.
I would even say this
for
is...
less than.
I mean, that was he was electrocuting dogs and shit.
He was body slamming.
He was
by
doing
their
wild
feet.
shit like that. Yeah, he's a piece of shit too.
But this is worse.
This is just...
he did that to dogs that didn't win their dog fight. He just did this to a dog that wouldn't... Oh, Christ.
It's almost like
just,
that was his... It's almost like if a mob guy kills someone, it's like less of it. It's like, well, that's his business and whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just kill your wife, that's just some crazy shit. That's what this feels like. Michael Vick's thing was like disgusting, and he was running the whole dog fighting ring, and it was about money and everything like that. But this is...
Scumbag, man.
This is my pet at my house.
This is so fucked up.
Those weren't his pets. This is Jayson Williams' pet. That's crazy.
Those are like, it's like throwing away a knife that's too dull and doesn't work. You know, but doing it in a really awful way.
He treated them worse than fucking Ralphie treated Pyomai on The Sopranos. But at least that's the same type of thing. This is his pet.
Jeez.
This is fucking crazy. You don't kill a pet. That's insane.
Supposed to be your pal, man.
That is fucked up, man. So Williams' brother Victor then came out and was very upset, indicating, that's my dog. Why'd you shoot? You shot my fucking dog, stupid.
It's not even his dog.
What did he say he was going to do?
Give him another dog.
No. What do you think that he threatened Jayson with, the brother?
I'll shoot your dog.
No, he said, I'm going to tell Dad. He threatened to tell Dad on him.
I'm going to tell Dad you shot my dog.
Oh, my God. Not I'm going to call the cops or something. I'm going to tell Dad.
You guys are adults.
Wow. I'm going to tell Dad. That is fucking amazing. So Jayson Williams left and then came back and threatened old Shinbone with the shotgun, telling him and Dockery to get rid of the dead dog. So they did. They took the dog and buried it in the backyard.
Oh.
Real nice friend. Go over to your fucking house. Go over to somebody's house and then they force you to fucking bury a dead dog at gunpoint. That's fucking insane.
Shot in front of you and threatened you with the same outcome if you didn't move him.
Wow, what a great fucking time this is, right?
Dude, this is maybe the most telling thing ever about Jayson Williams.
Yeah, and I believe Shinbone. I do, because he's not the only one saying it, and he has no reason to make this up whatsoever.
Right, nobody knows that fucking blockhead.
No, and it's not like this is like 2004. It's not like he's trying to get his TikTok going or get more fucking Instagram followers. It's 2004. He wants
subs on my YT.
Yeah. So I mean, he was just trying to get back in the NBA like that. Yeah. This isn't going to help him. So
no.
Anyway, EJ, Jason's father, called Shinbone's story a blatant lie and also called Shinbone, quote, an unstable man who's manipulative and uses people for his own good.
Is that right?
Shinbone, this guy.
I've never heard of him.
That's what I mean.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party. So
yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Check him out.
Manipulative ass blockheaded motherfucker. Where's he from?
He looks like fucking like Ostertag if he had a mullet.
Yeah.
He's like a mulleted Ostertag mixed with Big Country and Brian Bosworth all mixed into one. Definitely.
His face looks like an 8-year-old though.
Yeah. He certainly looks like he's from Oklahoma. Let's just put it that way. That's an Oklahoma mullet in the 90s, right? That's
yeah, that man has
Arkansas.
He's ridden a bull for sure.
Somewhere on the I-40 he's from, I feel like, right?
He knows what a bull costs. That man knows livestock.
He knows his livestock. Now, holy shit. So Jayson Williams, let's introduce you to his legal dream team.
Okay.
Since we've had OJ's dream team, we know all about all those guys, fucking, Robert Shapiro and Johnny Cocker and all these guys. Let's talk about Jayson Williams' dream team because he is spending a fuckload of money on this shit.
Oh, you should, yeah.
He has more money than OJ, so that's something.
Yeah. He's got his money's longer than a train smoke.
Train smoke. Not
that's
even
a long way.
Yeah, that goes for miles.
That's
man.
long, yeah.
Train smoke, like it's the Old West. So, leading the team of attorneys, consultants, and public relations executives, imagine what that costs. That's just, I got like a pain in my stomach just thinking about what the bills for that would be, are 2 defense lawyers who have decades of experience on both sides of the courtroom. Joseph Hayden, considered one of New Jersey's best criminal defense lawyers. He represented Williams since he's been charged. That was the guy he got right away. Hayden's father was an attorney in Essex County, and his wife is a federal court judge in Newark. Billy Martin, not the Yankee manager Billy Martin, was dead for 10 years by this point, but Billy Martin, who, by the way, we're going to do a multi-parter on Billy Martin one of these days.
Wait.
That is going to be the most entertaining fucking thing ever of all time. Can't wait for that. Billy Martin, 54, regarded as one of the go-to lawyers in Washington, D.C. Among his clients are sports celebrities and Marsha Lewis, Monica Lewinsky's mother.
Oh.
He's a partner at Blank Rome, a law firm in the nation's capital. He's a former prosecutor in Cincinnati. Holy shit. So we got these people. Also, Judy Smith, a Washington, D.C. based public relations consultant. Remember, she's the lady with, if you hear a crazy quote denying shit, it's out of her mouth.
Oh.
We're saying she's the silver-haired middle-aged white man of the episode here, Judy Smith. Yeah. I guess she was a deputy press secretary for the first Bush administration. Then there's Michael T. Kelly, former prosecutor in New York State and an expert in forensics, former Superior Court Judge Leonard Arnold, who was on the appellate division before his retirement and is lending his expertise to the defense behind the scenes, and Joe Ellen Demetrius, a jury consultant who worked on the O.J. Simpson case.
Okay.
Imagine what all those people cost.
Very smart. Smart guys to get, yeah.
Yeah. But
he's going to lose everything he's got.
He's been paying these people for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go to trial, which is where the real bills come in. It's just retainer shit until then. Wow. They said the attorneys have researched everything from the past testimony of the prosecution's expert witnesses to the judge's appeals record. They said the defense will not miss anything. That's a defense attorney who's not working on the case but watching it. He said they won't miss an answer. They won't miss an objection. I doubt they'll miss a question. And that was the OJ's legal team's strategy, was challenge everything. If they said that morning the sky was blue, we object and say, where's the proof the sky was blue? Even though we know the sky's blue.
Right.
Everything.
We object and say, when does morning stop?
Yep, that's how blue was it? What shade of blue? Do you know, how can you say it's a blue if you don't know what shade of blue? That's what it is, though. That's challenge everything. And if you watch the OJ trial, they get so far in the weeds on shit that didn't matter. The jury didn't even know what the hell the person was up there to testify for because it took a week and a half of questions. So that's a thing you can do. You just have to pay for it. The defense team has already been criticized by Superior Court Judge Edward Coleman after Williams and his wife Tanya granted television interviews during jury selection. The attorney said they hadn't known of the interviews. Your public relations person didn't know that you went on 2020. Really?
No clue.
Holy
shit. You're rubbing a belly?
Yeah.
What?
You got that on your own. You called. Jayson Williams called up Barbara Walters and said, I'd like to come by for a fucking chit chat. I doubt it.
Hey, Babs, how are you?
Babs, how's it going? Bring fucking, I don't even know the other people in there. Bring Morley Safer's fucking old ass. Roll him in here. Who else you got on? Ed Bradley? Bring Ed Bradley along.
That's
God damn
right. He was on 60 Minutes. I don't know.
60 Minutes, 20, I don't fucking know.
Was he 60 Minutes or 2020? I don't know.
You're asking me. Bring Hugh Downs in here. I don't give a shit.
They're all the fucking same.
That's what I mean.
Softball ask questions. You don't ask anything that matters.
Old people that interview people in living room looking like settings. That's who we're looking at here.
Well, the only people we challenge are Scott Peterson. Thank fuck for that, by the way.
Thank
that was
God.
Awesome.
Yeah. He was so bad. How do you not? The way he was. They're like, you haven't mentioned your wife once at all. That's kind of weird, right?
You haven't mentioned your baby
kid.
once.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I really, I'm really sad about that.
I miss that little rugrat.
Oh, boy.
Hardly knew him.
Jesus, fuck. That's so funny.
Well, I haven't said anything because I haven't even met him yet. You piece of shit.
You fucking loser. Oh my God. Meanwhile, he's got all his old office furniture stuffed into the room.
Sitting on his crib.
Unbelievable. And he sells his wife's car a week after she goes missing. I swear, I'm waiting for her to come home any minute. I don't get it.
Oh, you know, the Range Rover's a notoriously expensive vehicle to keep maintaining. I got to get rid of it.
Jesus. Fuck. So the defense team has already been criticized by the judge after that. And then they also said the Coleman, who's the judge, told Hayden, the defense attorney, that he was insulted by Hayden's suggestion of the black attorney. Hayden, who is very tall, he's like 6'7" or some shit, I guess, from what I understand, played at Boston College, played football as a Boston College student, his lawyer, and went on to earn a law degree at Rutgers. So he was the deputy attorney general, the first in the Division of Criminal Justice. Hayden tried his first case in New Jersey, which was an information from a wiretap was used as evidence. Now, among defendants represented by Hayden in the past, Barry Flowers, a Livingstone businessman accused of manslaughter after his boat ran over a fishing craft in 2000, killing 3 men. This asshole in his giant boat said, you get the fuck out of the way, and ran over 3 guys in a rowboat. And this guy, that's who he represents, a rich guy.
I mean,
wow.
On the ocean, the bigger vessel has the right of way.
I mean, sympathetic.
You can't just run over guys in little boats.
No, fuck. A jury deadlocked on the manslaughter charges. And we don't know if this guy was like in a shallow area where people are just
I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Bass fishing and plowing through here. We have no idea.
I don't know that he didn't just back out of the fucking skid, the slip, and
right over somebody.
3 dudes drinking a beer.
Jesus. So they deadlocked the jury on those charges. Flowers eventually pleaded guilty to 1 count of each of death by vessel and assault by vessel. Wow. Now, William Grunnow, which was a Greenbrook businessman charged in 1983 with murdering his lover's husband and stuffing the body in an oil drum.
They represented these guys.
The one guy here does, Hayden.
Golly.
Hayden convinced the jury the killing was in self-defense.
Uh-huh.
How do you
self-defense into a drum?
Self-defense, you leave a motherfucker where they lay, and you go, I killed this guy. He was trying to kill me. You don't stuff him into an oil drum in self-defense. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, much safer if that person is sealed inside an oil drum.
Wow. He ended up being convicted of aggravated manslaughter rather than murder and was paroled. Harry Insabella, a Franklin Township dentist, accused of participating in a 1995 jewelry store robbery. Oh. That didn't go where I thought it was going to go. In which the owner's wife was shot and killed.
Wow.
Jesus. The case ended with a hung jury, and the murder charge was later dropped when Insabella pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit robbery, perjury, and other charges. Oh, my God. And this guy, by the way, was released, and it was currently, while this article came out, was seeking restoration of his dentistry license.
Doesn't even get to drill molars anymore.
Oh, fucking A. That is crazy. Another person says, you'll never find anyone better prepared to try a case than this lawyer. Mm-hmm. You can expect to see a lot of determination, a lot of common sense, and above all, tremendous credibility. This person says, to a great extent, his success as an attorney is that ultimately the jurors conclude that the things Joseph Hayden told them were important were really the important issues in the case. He's a good water muddier. Yeah, that's what he's good at. He's very good at that. Yeah. Seems like. So, they go through his people here. His other guy, one other lawyer he has, represented Juwan Howard, who was cleared of sexual assault charges.
Juwan's really, he's put himself in it a few times.
Fuck yeah. As well as a witness in the slaying of the Baylor murder of Patrick Dennehy Jr., the Carlton Dotson
cut
case.
His head off? Wow.
Yes. We got to redo that case, too.
Yeah.
Just because we couldn't get all the details back then.
That's a crazy story.
That shit was nuts. The guy goes, he's the real deal. He's on the short list of criminal defense lawyers. He has terrific instincts and cuts through the stuff. He cuts through the stuff.
All the stuff.
Just say shit, you fucking loser.
Cuts through the stuff.
February 12, 2004, Jayson Williams' wife thanks supporters online.
Yeah?
Yeah. Tanya Williams said the website, www.myjasonwilliams.com.
What?
will also serve as a therapeutic tool to share her feelings at the end of each day of the criminal trial. Do
you think it still exists?
I don't know. There might be a dash between Jayson and Williams.
Yeah.
But the dash might just be the next line in the newspaper, the way they do that. So, it's Jayson with a Y.
I think that's what it is. I think let's see if it's still, it's gone.
It's gone. I figured that. This was a website to thank the supporters and for her to vent as well. So even though there's a gag order, Tanya Williams isn't included in the instruction, and the judge said when issuing, she's not a witness. The judge said when issuing his order that if she did not adhere, he would consider removing her from the courtroom. So stop doing it, or I'll remove you from the courtroom. Yeah. In the televised interview, Tanya Williams didn't discuss anything because she wasn't there, or wasn't around, wasn't like near the gunshot. But she said Jayson's side of the story, the truth about this horrible, unforeseeable accident, can finally be told. Over the past few years, we have had to endure.
We're victims.
Wow. Strategically malicious and vindictive allegations. Like I said, false representations against our family and against Jayson primarily. You fucking douchebag. They said many of you have been angered by the false allegations and misrepresentations levied against my husband. It angers me too. Yeah, everyone's real pissed. Yet I know that these lies, innuendos, and distortions shall be eradicated through our trial, and I will allow our attorneys to appropriately do this. I'll unleash the attorneys to say how false it is. February 19th, 2004, state police investigators, 2 years ago when this all happened, found 3 loaded firearms and at least 50 shotgun shells in Jayson's bedroom that night.
50 shotgun shells in his bedroom?
In his bedroom, and 3 loaded firearms.
Wow.
The firearms and ammunition were among more than 60 items shown to jurors in this aggravated manslaughter trial, followed by testimony from detectives who had collected and photographed the evidence of the crime scene. 4 shotguns, 2 of which were loaded, and a rifle containing 5 rounds of ammunition were all taken from a gun cabinet in his bedroom. the same bedroom where this dude was killed.
Yeah.
Also among the items were Christoffi's blood-soaked clothing, a pack of Pall Mall cigarettes, and a nylon wallet. This is Christoffi, this poor son of a... This guy's living in a fucking giant mansion. Christoffi had a fucking nylon wallet, like you give an 8-year-old as their first wallet.
Oh, Jesus.
With photographs, credit cards, and a whopping $28 in cash. This poor motherfucker, man. That is awful. Later, jurors were shown photographs of the contents of Jayson Williams' wallet. Inside the leather billfold, not nylon for him, were several credit cards, Williams' driver's license, and $2,310 in cash. He just carries around with him. Jesus, man. State police investigator, detective here, said he collected 47 loose shotgun shells and 2 spent shotgun shells, one of which was from the 12-gauge Browning that killed Christoffi. Right. Detailed pictures were taken by the cops of Christoffi's body, showing the limo driver lying on an oriental rug in the bedroom nearly 10 feet away from the shotgun, which had a white paint chip on the inside of the lower barrel. And he said he doesn't know how that got there, the forensic guy. Wagner had to have. Wagner also confirmed reports from troopers who testified Tuesday, saying investigators knew immediately that Christoffi's death was not a suicide. It didn't. They said it didn't seem as if it was a straightforward suicide. I realized this scene had been compromised to a certain extent. The Wagner guy said he also collected a gray T-shirt and dark blue jeans from Williams that night, clothes he believed that Williams had been wearing during the shooting. But during cross-examination, he said he never directly asked Williams if those were the clothes he had worn all night, which we know they weren't now. Testimony revealed that 12 shotgun pellets were extracted from Christoffi's body during a 5-hour autopsy, and the pellets were the full load of 12-gauge cartridge fired by the gun, which is, they got them all.
They're all stuck.
They were in a bedroom together. It wasn't like across a yard.
And close.
And close, yeah. A second investigator said that he found Williams' long black leather coat inside the van Christoffi had driven that evening. They said that Williams' wallet was found in the coat's breast pocket. In earlier briefs, the prosecutors had said Williams had driven his own car from the Mountain View Chalet, Union Township, to his home that night. He tried to lie and say the guy didn't even drive me that night.
What the fuck?
That's how arrogant he fucking is. If I say it, they'll believe me because my money's long as train smoke, and I'm the king of New Jersey. Jesus Christ. They don't know why it was in the van. He might have forgot him. Forgot the wallet in the van. Also found in the van was Christoffi's brown suede jacket, a photocopied map of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, an empty Fujifilm quick snap disposable camera box and wrapper. Prosecutors have said that he was an avid sports fan and brought a disposable camera to the restaurant and to Williams' home to take a picture with the guys because he's a sports fan. Yeah. Jesus fuck. March 4th, 2004. Let's bring Benoit Benjamin into this fucking mix, fellas.
Benoit.
He's accused of lying, Benoit, here. Yes, Benoit Benjamin, who's also a former Harlem Globetrotter and teammate of him, he said that he saw a shell in a cracked open shotgun Jayson Williams was holding before he flipped it closed and then shot Gus. Yeah. So he checked to make sure it was loaded first.
Wow.
He said he was in the master bedroom about 3 feet away from Williams when the shooting occurred. Jesus, that must have been loud. Immediately before the shooting, Williams allegedly cursed at Christoffi, demanding to know why the driver was in his bedroom. Meanwhile, he was taking people around the house for a tour.
Yeah, right.
And he decided to try to punk out the limo driver.
Okay.
What are you doing in my bedroom?
Yeah.
You fucking asshole.
That's what it was?
Yeah, he said that's what he did. Benoit Benjamin said during more than 4 hours of testimony, that's what he said. Benjamin, I guess, is a key witness because he was 3 feet away and offered pretty damaging testimony.
Sure.
But his testimony came with discrepancies. He first said he saw Williams pull the trigger. Later, he said he did not know exactly where Williams' fingers were on the gun, except they were around the trigger guard. Okay. And when he held the 12-gauge shotgun that killed him, Benjamin, I keep wanting to call him Benoit, Benjamin demonstrated how Williams flipped closed the gun while putting his finger completely through the trigger guard. The night of the shooting, after the group dined, Benjamin here said that they were invited to the whole thing. While in the bedroom, he saw him take a cracked open shotgun out of the gun cabinet, flip the gun up, and it fired. That's what he said. He said, in what direction did he flip the gun up? And he said, directly in front of Gus.
Jesus.
When asked if he said anything immediately before the shotgun fired, he said that Williams used expletives when talking with Christofi. He also testified that Williams, who drove Benjamin and everybody else from the dinner there, was driving his Bentley so erratically that Benjamin feared for his life and said a prayer for God to protect him. He said that Williams had been drinking white wine at the restaurant and had a few shots of liquor at the end of the night. And the owner and waitress at the Mountain View Chalet testified they did not notice if Williams had anything to drink. We could probably check the receipt here. The waitress, Margaret DiMatteo, said the former Nets star did not seem drunk. The state is trying to prove that he acted recklessly and possibly while drunk. Here, that's the whole point. Now, after Benjamin reluctantly showed the court how Williams held the shotgun that night, defense attorneys wanted the record to show that Benjamin put his finger through the trigger guard as opposed to on the trigger, setting the stage for a key argument in their case. See, they're just muddying the waters of where the guy was 3 feet away, and he said he cursed at him, flipped the gun up, and it shot. Doesn't fucking matter where his finger is, but I guess there's, that's what I mean. So Williams' attorney, Billy Martin, attacked Benjamin on cross-examination, accusing him of lying on the witness stand because Williams refused to help him find a job after the shooting.
What?
So he's going through all this and now perjuring himself because Williams wouldn't help him find a job.
What the shit?
That's a really weak fucking motivation. Benjamin denied Martin's claims, but admitted he had his agent contact Williams in hopes of getting a job on one of Williams' traveling teams or making some connections. He said, I hoped that possibly I could obtain a job. He said, Jayson knows a lot of people and he had traveling teams and whatnot. The attorney also said that Benjamin lied to defense investigators during an informal meeting in Louisiana. Benjamin said he was not obligated to tell investigators anything, but added he had not told the entire truth because he didn't trust them. They weren't cops. They were Jayson Williams investigators.
Holy.
So you don't have to tell. The law does not say you have to tell private investigators hired by the defendant anything.
Right.
You can tell them aliens. I saw Martians shoot Christofi. It doesn't fucking matter. So he's not under oath. There's no deposition. None of it matters. So the 39-year-old Benjamin, who's 7 feet tall, they said was wearing a white mink coat the night of the shooting, told Martin he was upset at the restaurant after Williams began telling jokes about him. One joke, as Martin told it, began with a white basketball player who had a C on the back of his jerseys. A group of players inquired what the letter stood for, and Williams said it stood for Caucasian, according to Martin. Williams said the punchline was that Benjamin told the players, you don't know what's going on. Caucasian starts with a K. Because that's what he thought.
God damn it.
He said, I got a little pissed off because I took it as him insulting my intelligence. Somebody insults your intelligence. Of course it's going to get on your nerves, Benjamin said.
Yeah.
So Jayson was saying he was so dumb he thought Caucasian started with a K.
Yeah.
Martin was also quick to point out that Benjamin testified with immunity, meaning the authorities agreed not to prosecute him for originally lying to police in a sworn statement, because everybody was told to lie in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's why. So now they're trying to say, it's amazing that the guy who told him to lie, now he's on the stand testifying against him, and they're like, oh, but you lied. It's like, yeah, but he told me to lie. That's why I lied. But you lied. But yes, because your guy told me to. He's the guy pulling the fucking lying strings. And you're saying I'm a liar? Your guy...
He's building,
instructed me to fucking lie. That's wild. March 12, 2004, expert testifies shot driver was in close range. A forensic scientist, Henry Lee... He's the guy from OJ and a lot of other trials. He's been completely discredited recently. Lately been completely discredited as a complete fraud, basically.
Oh, Hank.
He said that the shooting was 4 to 5 feet away when the shots occurred. The barrel of the gun was 6 inches to 18 inches away from Christofi. That's so close, man. That is so fucking close.
The 12 gauge, forget it.
Jesus Christ.
That's way too close.
Holy shit. Also, a DNA expert testified that the handprint left on the shotgun contained at least 3 samples of DNA, 2 of which could have come from Williams and Christofi. Neither Lee, chief emeritus of the Connecticut State Police Forensics Laboratory, who gained national fame by testifying for the defense in the O.J. Simpson case, nor DNA expert Mitchell Holland provided any shocking testimony. But what they did say during the trial was, shit that you needed to have said, essentially.
You don't shoot anything that close with a shotgun that you're not trying to destroy.
To obliterate.
I've fired shotguns nowhere near that close, like several feet away. And
it does damage.
When you do it that close, even 10 feet away, it's a goof because you're about to explode this. And it's kind of funny if it explodes, right? If shit comes back, that's not funny. But when it takes it all apart, you go, wow, that was and that was so far away in comparison to this. This is may as well be touching
inches.
him. May as well be
so
touching
close.
him.
Yeah, you're gonna get burns on you from that.
That's gonna explode him.
So he testifies, Henry Lee. I think he's testifying for the prosecution here, though.
Yeah.
He's saying that the gun is primarily a skeet shooting gun. He said it was pointed at Christofi when it fired and had been moved after the shooting. He said blood spatters were found on Christofi's body, on a nearby piece of clothing, and on molding around the door. He also testified that Christofi's body had been touched after the shooting due to blood smears on his clothing that were inconsistent with his wounds and the fact that he was standing when he was shot. He said, my assertion is the gun has been moved. Who moved it, I don't know. So the defense attorney asked Lee whether he was ever asked to test clothing worn by Williams or Benjamin, who testified last week he was standing 3 feet away. Mm-hmm. And he said, I can provide some answers, but not all answers. And they also asked, Lee also suggested that the barrel of the shotgun, where he noticed a smudge, be dusted for fingerprints. He said it's not readable, but if there's a smudge, you may get a DNA result. DNA has been moved to a third-generation level. Swab was later taken of the handprint, which was tested for DNA. They said the DNA doesn't provide positive identification, but can rule out those who didn't contribute. They said they found at least three different people's DNA on there, and they said neither Williams nor Christofi's profile could be excluded from that. So there you go. Prosecution rests on March 18th, 2004. They arrested. They presented 36 witnesses in 15 days. And they're basically just trying to show that he was reckless when handling a shotgun. You don't have to have any ill will or intent.
No, yeah.
It's just you can't be.
Man, you holding a deadly weapon, if you handle it negligently, you're liable for any damage it causes.
Especially if you've had 8 drinks.
For sure.
That's even worse.
Get behind the wheel of a car after 8 drinks and hit somebody. You're
see what happens.
negligent and you're responsible.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't mean to kill that person,
right.
But you're pretty fucking responsible, though. So, and also the tampering with witnesses and everything like that. So, they end up doing that. March 26, 2014. Now they're saying they get an expert on here. Weapons expert for the defense says that Jayson Williams was handling the gun when it shot and killed the limousine driver. He said it was a malfunction of the gun caused by built-up debris. Causes the gun to just fire indiscriminately.
There's a lot of pressure in there with a
wow.
lot of debris. I got there's coffee cans.
Wow.
And a couple of earthworms in there.
There's all sorts of shit in there.
What the fuck of debris?
We found like a couple of like dry cleaning receipts in there. He must have stuffed. There's all sorts of shit.
Dryer sheets.
He said, it's my opinion that this shotgun is basically an accident waiting to happen. He said, this is Richard Ernest.
Who said that?
Dick Ernest.
Oh,
he earns his
dick.
He earns his dick, this guy. So afterward, the Superior Court Judge Coleman asked jurors to disregard that comment about, in his opinion, it's an accident waiting to happen.
Well, here's the thing about build up and such from firing it too much. It doesn't so much as make it go off crazy as much as it does stop it from.
I've heard of
stop
that.
It. Yeah,
I've heard it not
hinder
working.
The operation. It wouldn't make it overwork.
Better. Well, he said, especially what he says was in there. Ernest said a large amount of debris, including several wood chips, found in the. Wouldn't that stop? Yeah, found in the shotgun. Yeah. Could have led to discharge without a trigger pull. After showing jurors several enlarged photos depicting a shotgun mechanism, Ernest compared the wear and tear on Williams' 10-year-old shotgun to a new shotgun, a new Browning in the area Between the hammer and the firing pin consists of a ledge of metal that measures 14 to 16 thousandths of an inch, or the width of 3 sheets of typing paper. But in Williams' shotgun, the metal has been worn down significantly. These surfaces are not going to be able to mate together properly, and they are hanging by a thread. So this is very interesting. No, and you shouldn't point it at people. Anyway, right. There's a good way. This is the reason why you don't point guns at people, because you don't know exactly how perfect everything's working, and either way, don't get drunk and point guns.
But there are weapons that are hundreds of years old that people have used.
I was just going to say that, too. They're family heirlooms.
They still fire them.
There's whole societies of people that only fire black powder rifle shit, like Civil War level fucking guns, firing fucking balls out, not even bullets.
My dad has an 1892 Rossi, and it fires just fine.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. So Ernest was called to refute key testimony from prosecution gun expert, who was Sergeant James Ryan, who said that Williams' shotgun wouldn't fire without the trigger being pulled, despite repeated tests to get it to do otherwise. Like the defense first witness, renowned forensic psychologist Michael Bodden, or pathologist Michael Bodden, who's a complete fucking hack and discredited douchebag as well. He's worse, I think, because he's worse to me because he's like, I'm a TV star. Like he's got an ego that doesn't quit, this fucking guy.
Calm down, you Ron Jeremy looking motherfucker.
Yeah, you fat fuck. So it was he was here basically to attack the credibility of Benoit Benjamin. And say that Ernest said that a shell in the lower barrel can't even be seen by the person handling the weapon when it's 3/4 cracked open.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
Oh, so it's an under-over.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it was like an Elmer Fudd. We'd figured out. March 31st, 2004, a witness says depressed star told pals to, quote, tell the truth later on. Yeah. They said in the weeks after a limousine driver was shot and killed, that's when he told house guests to tell the truth about the incident to authorities. You know, after his lawyers probably told him you're going to get charged with tampering with witnesses if you tell them to lie.
And perjury. Your friends are going to jail for perjury.
Yeah, no, they'll get immunity to testify against you, dummy. But
if they don't tell the truth, they're going to jail for perjury. You don't have to tell them to tell the truth. They get it.
Fuck. So Troy Jackson, a professional basketball player and entertainer on ESPN Network Street Ball, said,
never heard of you, motherfucker.
Never heard of that show. Said that days after the February 14th shooting, that friends, quote, had to almost literally drag a depressed Williams out of the house to play pickup basketball. Gee, it's almost like he fucking killed a guy. You would think he should be depressed at that point.
He should have felt this way after blasting his own dog.
Yeah, this is how he should have felt for a long time. His brother's dog, not even his.
Yeah.
During one of the games, some 5 to 10 days after the shooting, Kent Kaluko and John Goodrick called Williams to a corner of the court and said, Jay, we don't know what to do. What do you want us to say? You're offering to lie. Williams replied, if you guys want to talk about the case, I'm not coming to the gym anymore. Just tell the truth. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. So the 6'10" Jackson, who described himself as one of Williams' best friends since childhood, was called by the defense to bring out inconsistencies in statements made by Kaluko, a former friend who testified against Williams as part of a plea agreement. Kaluko said he talked with Williams after the shooting but did not mention the conversation at a gym in Rochelle Park. But Jackson also ended up testifying about his friendship with Williams, showed jurors pictures of Williams' 65-acre estate and several of his vintage cars. Is that what you do in a murder trial? You show off your goods to the jury?
Evidently, you got to. I mean, if I got a vintage car and I'm on trial, let's talk about that for a little bit.
I can't be guilty. I have a 68 GTO. This is ridiculous.
We got to talk about We got to talk about it.
No way.
I got a lot of money in this motor. Let's talk about it.
He said he playfully mocked Williams about one of his vintage automobiles, calling it a terrible car, in contrast to the luxury SUVs that other basketball players owned.
What is it, a Corvair?
It's probably a hot shit muscle car.
Yeah,
and
it's fucking cool
much
as
better
shit
than some disposable fucking Lincoln Navigator. So Williams roared with laughter when Jackson told defense attorney Billy Martin that he was 300 to 375 pounds, give or take breakfast. That's what he told him. I guess Billy Jackson is a big guy.
Very funny guy. Yeah.
The fourth day of the defense's case also included a firearms expert who reiterated Jayson Williams' shotgun fired as a result of a malfunction, and a private detective who attempted to attack the credibility of Benoit Benjamin. John T. Buttress, a Texas engineer, repeated what the defense's first weapons expert said. He said it's possible for this shotgun to discharge in the absence of a willful trigger pull.
It's impossible.
He said wood chips, rust, metal shavings, and other dirt could have lodged in crucial areas of the trigger mechanism, especially because the shotgun was worn and contained a film of oil that could have caused debris to stick. Well, how does that make it shoot, though? How does that make a bullet fly out? I don't understand how or a shell fly out.
How the fuck do you sleep at night, you son of a bitch?
Wow, that is fucking wild. So they said that roughly half-hour. Oh, this is an investigator said in a roughly half-hour conversation with Benoit Benjamin, the setter never said anything about Williams cursing at Christofi before the shooting. This is one of Williams' investigators that Benjamin said, I didn't trust the guy, so I didn't tell him shit. Benjamin testified that he did curse, obviously. They said that they went over his need for a job and all that kind of shit here. I guess they testified that the defense investigator testified that he told Benjamin over the phone that the defense would not consider anything concerning money or a job, but the detective still flew to Louisiana the next day with another private investigator and said before any of these discussions could take place, I set the ground rules. There wasn't any way we were going to talk without a job, money, or any payoff of any kind. Yeah, so Benjamin said, you're not giving me shit, I ain't telling you shit. Yeah. So I don't know here. April 1st, 2004, Williams won't testify and the defense rests. Wow. He is cocky, man. He's not going to
His
testify.
gun can just go off on its own. We rest.
I settle everything on that. He told a judge that he's innocent because the judge has to ask you don't want to testify. And he said, no, I'm innocent and I have great confidence in the jurors who will free me, basically.
Wow.
Jury is not in the court when he says this, obviously, but he says, I am innocent. I have put my trust in God and I have great confidence in this jury.
Okay.
He said he made his decision after discussions with his wife and defense teams, and he told the judge he understands his rights, but he's pulling out here. So the defense has not decided whether it wants the judge to tell the jury Williams is not obligated to testify. Why wouldn't you tell someone that? You tell the jury always that you can't hold the fact that he didn't testify against him. That's part of the jury instructions. It's not, he doesn't have to testify. So he said the judge gave Williams that choice after he didn't want to testify. It's so weird. The suggestion that Williams might testify was made during opening statements. Defense lawyer Billy Martin told jurors, Jayson Williams will tell you what happened that night. Jayson Williams will tell you how this horrific, totally unforeseeable accident occurred. Now, as a juror, you can't hold it against somebody for not testifying at all.
Yeah.
But when a prosecutor says, or a defense attorney, any attorney says in opening statements, this is what I'll tell you, and this is who will tell you, right, and then they don't, they're a liar now, and you don't don't trust them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what happens is you have to, in opening arguments, you want to under-promise and over-deliver. And then in closing arguments, then you can fucking, look at the mountain we built.
Yeah.
But when you say Jayson Williams is going to tell you out of his own mouth, you say that twice, and then he doesn't testify, I go, why didn't Jayson Williams? I thought he was going to tell me out of his own mouth. So it's a different issue. So that's kind of interesting. April 15th, 2004, Jayson and Tanya welcomed their second daughter. Isn't that sweet?
He's been having unprotected sex this whole time?
Yeah, she was pregnant the whole time, remember? She went on 2020
right.
pregnant.
Yeah.
So that is really fucking funny here. They got a 7-pound, 4-ounce girl, according to Judy Smith, the publicist. Yeah. She said, mother, daughter, and father are doing fine. Well, we would assume he's doing fine. This is Triumph J, Jaye, J.
That's her name? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Triumph with a Y as well, too. Mm-hmm. Guess where it is. Anyway, April 27th, 2014, jury is still out here.
Yeah.
Jury is still out. Assistant prosecutor in his closing said, accident? What about any of this as an accident? It's reckless conduct.
Right.
Defense attorney said there was unforeseeable accident happening by the malfunction of an old shotgun. You know, it happens to anybody. We've all shot someone in our bedroom.
An old shotgun.
Old shotgun. It's 10
they
years
have
old.
Expiration dates when they get real old.
They're like milk. They really are. You got to smell them first before you use them. Oh no, this one went bad. It went bad, man. It went bad.
I think your shotgun's turned.
Williams' attorney Hayden said that you add up all these facts and they add up to an accident. They don't add up to a crime. Duh. Jesus Christ. So that's how that goes. What the fuck, man? They said the defense attorney said the state did not do Williams justice. The state had a job to investigate a crime, not figure out there's an NBA player involved in an accident. Can I make that a crime?
Yeah.
I think the only reason why he wasn't taken away in cuffs that very fucking night is because he was an NBA player.
Probably, yeah.
Anybody else, they would have been like, yo, he shot him by accident, and that motherfucker's going to jail. Even if it's an accident, we'll figure it out later.
They tell you that when you get a CCW, when you get a concealed weapon, they'll tell you right away, don't shoot anybody because you're going to jail. And then you sort it out from there.
But you will be charged first.
You're going to jail.
And then they'll figure it out.
100%. Yes.
100%.
They always take you.
Unless you're Lori Vallow's brother there, who then they
evidently they just go, they high five you and turn you loose.
They still took him to jail, or not to jail, to the police station, but he was out in like 2 hours. Like,
where they high five him. And
they were like, good job. They said the defense has been, it's everyone else's fault except the defendants, is what the prosecution said. Where's the responsibility? Where's the accountability?
Yeah.
So they said on February 14th, Jayson Williams chose to play with a deadly weapon. Jayson Williams chose to play with life and death. In that reckless game of life and death, he killed Gus Christophe. Accident is no defense. That's what they're saying. So Williams here comes the jury. The jury is in. Aggravated manslaughter is the top charge. He is found not guilty of aggravated manslaughter.
Holy shit.
Wow, that is...
Why?
Because he had very good lawyers that muddied the waters with tons of experts telling them that a shotgun wood chips
old.
make it fire. That's why.
He got wood chips in it.
Wow.
It's no good.
Wow, that is amazing, man. But he is found guilty of covering up the death.
Okay.
So a mistrial was declared on the charge of reckless manslaughter after the jurors said they were unable to reach a unanimous decision. Wow. Their final vote there was 8-4 to acquit, which is fucking crazy. They said that, wow, that's fucking wild. Williams showed no emotion, but he rocked from side to side. But his supporters were banging on the pews saying, as all the not guilty charges were read, aggravated manslaughter, reckless assault, possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose. After the verdicts were complete, he kissed his wife. So now he faces a maximum of 13 years in prison, although sentencing guidelines make it more likely that he'll get less than 5 or even or receive only probation.
Holy.
That is fucking wild. Outside the courthouse, Billy Martin, the lawyer, said, "This means that after 30 years as a lawyer, our system can work."
Oh,
yes. Our system has never, ever treated extremely wealthy people fairly. You're absolutely... Finally, a rich guy can shoot a poor guy in his living room and not have to deal with all this riffraff jail bullshit that we have.
We finally got all the wood chips out of the system.
Wow, all the metal shavings and wood chips. That is the most insulting fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
This isn't some fucking homeless person who was accused of stabbing a society woman and the proof came to the surface and we all... No, this is a rich cunt.
Who shoots things.
And has his cop buddies tell people to fucking cover it up and everything else. Wow. This is insane. This is the exact guy that the system has always worked for and will always work for. People with money as long as train smoke.
Yeah.
Wow, that is fucking horrific. Tragic accident. Jurors said Williams was guilty of the cover-up by destroying fingerprints on the shotgun and on Christoffi's body. Yeah, they couldn't find a way to acquit him for that, or they would have.
Can't make that go away.
Fuck, telling witnesses to lie.
But the only reason to make that go away is because you know you just did something wrong.
That's what I'm saying. And the fact that he lied to police handing over clothes that he knew he wasn't wearing when he shot the guy. Yeah. So he gave his friends to Gordnick, who hid them atop a highway underpass for 2 weeks before turning them over to police.
Jesus.
Gordnick gets to plead guilty to tampering with evidence and testified there as well. He said that Williams handed him the clothes and said, "Here, JG." Everybody is this guy's servant. Bury my dog, get rid of my clothes. Fuck you. Clean up your own crimes, you asshole. I would hate this guy. Man. Jurors concluded that Williams had not tampered with Christoffi's body, even though we know that he probably did.
100%.
So that is fucking wow. I don't even know what to say about that. They said the prosecutor's office is very pleased the jury returned a verdict of guilty on counts 5 to 8, the cover-up charges. Were disappointed they were unable to return a verdict of guilty on the pre-shooting and the pre-shooting and shooting counts. So. Meaning the gun for unlawful purposes and all that kind of shit. Whoa, man. They said, I guess, apparently, Coleman met with lawyers and then asked jurors if they felt they could come to a verdict on all the charges a day after reporting that they were split on 2 counts. After several minutes of discussions, jurors said they had 1 charge left and it wouldn't be fruitful to continue. That was the reckless manslaughter one they were deadlocked on.
We're never going to beat that, yeah.
Never going to beat that. 8-4 and in favor of acquitting.
Mm-hmm.
Juror Tanya Poto said, "I'm a little disappointed we didn't finish up." Williams and his wife left in a white Mercedes SUV without commenting, of course. And they just said he's going home to his wife and children and, and his guns, really, because that's what's really important to this guy. Those are his children. He means the kids that came out of her are a different thing. Yeah. So his nephew, Chris Adams, said that this is Christoffi's nephew, said he admitted he shot him. He was never held accountable. Yeah, He said it's breaking up. No words can express how we feel. We all felt we feel he'll get special treatment and would wind up like OJ. They said we knew this was going to happen. They say, yeah, he acted without intent. That is fucking. One juror said, we tried to figure out the mood in the room when the shooting happened. Like, did he have an attitude?
Who?
Jayson Williams.
Which one?
Yeah.
Did he have an attitude?
Did Christophe have an attitude, deserve to get shot? So I don't understand what difference. That would make a difference between aggravated and reckless.
Sure.
But outside of that, what are you talking about? Who gives a shit? He shot him while he was drunk.
I just want to know if he was bitchy like my teenager.
Yeah, I just want to know if he was a little cunty or not. He says he has friends, his friends in the house. They're talking about sneakers, and then all of a sudden, boom! It didn't seem to me that he shot him on purpose. So, this was an 8-woman, 4-man panel. The jury was 12 weeks was this trial. That's 3 fucking months, by the way. After all that, you couldn't fucking figure it out. They, I guess, they deliberated for about 18 hours over 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another juror, Ann Stengel, said she thought there was a great probability the shooting was merely an accident. Questions surrounding great right? I don't know. It says questions surrounded Stengel's participation in the jury past Friday because, as she told the judge during jury selection, she had plans to fly to Hawaii today for a vacation.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up, guys. Maui's calling.
Yeah, literally, it had to get done that day so she could go. She said she put those plans out of her mind during the deliberations.
Oh,
didn't think about my impending Hawaiian vacation. Yeah,
poi and pineapple for the last fucking 3 months.
Which, by the way, I'll lose all my money on because I'll have to cancel at the last minute if I do. So I'm not thinking about that. She said, I wanted closure. I wanted to do the right thing here, and I think we did. That sounds like a lot of people had other plans is what this sounds like.
The right thing is riding a horse on the beach in Maui. I got to go.
It's very important to me. Fuck. They said the jurors were only able to unanimously agree on the truthfulness of the testimony of Paul Gaffney from the Globetrotters and Christopher Morris. They couldn't agree on Kent Kaluko, a house guest who pleaded later guilty to tampering with evidence to testify against him. Couldn't agree whether he was credible or not.
No idea.
They said on Thursday they sent a note saying they had decided 6 of the 8 charges but were deadlocked on the remaining 2, but the judge told them to continue deliberating, and then a day later they said, nope, can't do it. One juror, Lily Shahidi, said we more or less agreed on what it was decided on. They said the jurors took quite a few votes and spent most of their time just talking and talking until we were blue in the face. Another juror said prosecutors did not have enough physical evidence to convict Williams for manslaughter. What the fuck are you talking about?
What do you need? You gotta.
You mean the evidence he covered up later?
Yeah.
Like, what are we? He's got the weapon. He's got his blood spatter on the fucking clothes.
What would he be covering up?
That's what I'm saying. So you basically said he covered up pretty well. So can't really. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
He covered up. You convicted him of it.
And then she said,
what did he cover up, though?
Yes. Sounds like people who want to find him innocent because this person said a lot of it was based on eyewitness testimony. People recollect differently, which is true. But most of the time, people take eyewitness testimony as pretty serious, especially if they know. I don't take eyewitness testimony. If you've never met somebody and you saw them for 2 seconds,
tough stuff,
I don't think you can identify them a month from now. I really don't. I think you're going to identify someone of that type and that basic cutout. If you know a guy well,
specific about them, but if it's just a fucking cutout of a human being and you're going to rest that guy against another one, it's impossible.
That's ridiculous. That's what I mean. But if you know the person very well and you were 3 feet away from them in their own fucking bedroom, I think you could probably figure shit out. You could probably recollect things.
You've said, Jay, I'm open.
Yeah. And he passed me a shotgun shell through my chest.
Get rid of this.
The juror said, I feel good about the outcome. It was as thorough as a case as can be. A not guilty verdict on manslaughter was fairly easy.
Yeah.
Wow. They said discussions became hostile and tense during the last few days. They said, you have 12 different people with 12 different opinions and 12 different theories on what happened. We were just very, very stressed in there, the juror said. But one thing they
gotten ugly.
Yeah. One thing they agreed upon was that Benoit Benjamin was not credible.
They don't like him at all.
They didn't like him because he wouldn't talk to their investigator. He said his testimony was not even considered. It seemed that he had animosity toward Jayson. That doesn't matter. That does not fucking matter. Oh, my God. I want to punch these fucking women in this jury, all of them.
A lot of people have animosity they're mad.
It happens all the fucking time. All the time.
This is a murder trial. Well, this is a man's dead. There's going to be some animosity.
Yeah. What we do is we swear them in, so then they're doing this under the threat of perjury.
It doesn't matter if they're mad or not. They have to tell the truth. That's all they have to tell.
Hey, the guy said, I was 3 feet away. This is what I fucking saw. And they're like, well, that's obviously crazy.
He seems pissed off because he's a starter and he's not.
What the fuck are you talking about? What is happening, man? This is crazy. So experts say the defense was brilliant. This article says Jayson Williams' lawyers conducted a brilliant defense. They said bogging prosecutors down with testimony of weapons experts that turned the jury's attention away from the actual shooting. This is the same OJ stuff. Let's bring out 14 experts. Let's grill the lady who literally took a swab of something for 6 days to talk about her background and how she holds a bag and what finger.
How much cotton is on the tip of that swab?
Yes, it's true though. That if you do that long enough, a jury, these are human beings. They will check the fuck out.
Fuck yeah.
So they said while prosecutors did a thorough job, defense attorney David M. Schwartz said they were forced into playing the defense's game, allowing weapons experts and the allegations of misfiring shotguns to blur what could have been the main thrust of the state's case, the killing itself.
That's literally the reason people have shotguns is because they are like for self-defense at home because they are so reliable.
They're so reliable.
They go off when you pull that trigger, man. That's it.
Wow, this is
fascinating.
You say, well, how do rich people get away with shit? This is how. It's not just getting a good lawyer. It's being able to hire. Yeah. Do you know how much those fucking defense experts cost? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah. That's why. If you have all of these people and you have enough of them and more than the other side, you will get acquitted of shit.
3 months? This probably cost him 5 to 10, didn't it?
Absolutely cost him. Over the course of 2 years, a 3-month-long actual trial, this cost him, had to be $15 million, even 15, I would say. I'd even go up to that. One person, this lawyer said, I think sometimes prosecutors, especially in these cases, have a tendency to overcomplicate the case, and I think that's where the gun expert testimony came in. Just the fact that he pointed a loaded gun while being drunk at another human being, that alone was recklessness.
Yeah.
True. Doesn't matter.
Crazy.
You can't say it's the gun's fault. It wasn't in the closet and it jumped out, snapped itself, shot, and closed the guy.
If that thing just goes off from time to time, never point that at a person.
Fucking he knows his guns too. He's always shooting. He's got a range out back.
Right.
So one of Williams' defense attorneys, Joseph Hayden, said that, quote, he's a junior, by the way, Joseph Hayden Jr., which is not surprising. We knew we were representing an innocent man. The verdict on the shooting counts as a confirmation that the death of Mr. Christoffi, however tragic, was an accident and not a criminal event. Wow. I hope they fucking sue him for all of his train smoke money.
Christ,
I swear to Christ. Because in civil court, that shit doesn't fly at all. No. Civil court, it's like 50-50. 51% guilty is guilty. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's just a preponderance of the evidence. So, different thing. Wow. Jail Jayson Williams, the relatives of the victim say. Yeah, they want that. Andrea Adams, who is Gus's sister, said some jail time may do Mr. Williams some good. Maybe it would give him something to think about, something like this would not happen again. I'm a religious person, and it's not like me to be vindictive. I just wish there was some sort of justice for what happened, which I think is a fair fucking thing here. The family said they plan to lobby aggressively for a second trial. Now, the only thing you could charge him with murder because they didn't do that first, or you could charge him again with reckless manslaughter, but you can't charge him with aggravated manslaughter again because he got acquitted of that. So that's double jeopardy. So that's it. She said that we're going to fight for them to redo it. I definitely think he could be convicted of reckless manslaughter. I don't see how the fuck he could or wouldn't.
I can't believe he wasn't.
That is fucking wild. Another relative said that jurors were starstruck. He's rich, powerful, and good-looking. They were taken in by that. I just don't see where justice was served. They also said that he's rich. It was the money. Money is everything. Agreed. Yeah. They also said that Christofi's best friend called the high-priced defense team the greatest manipulators of the English language. No one was focused on what really happened. The only good thing is they're all spending his money. Wow. They also said that they said, I don't think it was a fair trial. Everyone was so worried about protecting Jayson Williams' rights. Who protected Gus Christofi's rights? He was a living, breathing human being until Jayson Williams became reckless. Yeah. So he is to face a new trial for reckless manslaughter.
Okay.
So they are going to do that, which if the family's up your ass that much and you just basically ate a dick in public, we gave you all the evidence of this case and you couldn't get a reckless manslaughter conviction out of that? Wow.
That's not good. Yeah.
So this is going to cost Jayson a little extra money too here. They said that they will be retried on reckless manslaughter. The state has considered its options, they said, and the state has decided it wishes to proceed with the case. Okay. And they said Williams, he's probably upset about it because he knows that's money. Yeah. His attorney said any trial will be the same. The witnesses will be the same. The evidence will be the same. And juries will hear the same evidence this jury heard. But they might not be as fucking brain damaged as those people apparently were. I mean, you get 12 people, and one has to go to Hawaii on this day. It's fucking silly as shit. So they said they sought to have Coleman set a sentencing date, that's the judge, before the trial, but the judge refused, saying a sentencing could make it nearly impossible to find an impartial jury. So they said, we're going to sentence on the first thing after the second trial.
Okay.
So if we do a whole big sentencing thing, that's going to be worse. Coleman, the judge, said, I can only think it would make it that much more impossible to find a jury. As we all know, it was a Herculean task the first go-around. 2 of the jurors, along with one of the alternates who did not deliberate, were in the audience to hear what the prosecutors had decided. One juror said, we want to see how the other side lives, meaning the people not on juries. None of the jurors would comment on their reaction to it, though. After the hearing, Chris Adams, Christofi's nephew, said, till now, I didn't think justice was served. He was very reckless. Aggravated manslaughter, no, but reckless, yes. He was very reckless. So Williams, there's a defamation suit. Williams did not, a state trooper said that he defamed him.
Really?
Yes, in court papers saying that he made anti-Semitic remarks to a Jewish driver during a traffic stop. Okay. The allegations were made against James Kiernan, were made as Jayson Williams' attorneys prepared to defend him. Kiernan, one of the troopers called to Williams' Alexander home to testify or to investigate the shooting here, said that he sued Jayson Williams for defamation, saying Williams spread lies about him. It was if you have enough money and a publicist, you can discredit all the cops that investigated your case too.
Sure. Yeah.
They said Superior Court Judge Edmund Bernard, sitting in Flemington, ruled this week that the comments were protected because they were made in the course of defending Williams. He also said Williams should file a motion to seek attorney fees for defending a frivolous lawsuit. So, holy shit, that didn't work out. July 16th, 2004, he wants a change of venue now. But you're the king of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go somewhere else?
Money and train smoke, man. What's
the
problem?
Yeah, all this train smoke and everything else, man. This is fucking ridiculous. So he wants that bad. He said that Judy Smith, the spokeswoman for Williams, said that they failed to make any substantial legal argument why there's a need to transfer the case. Oh, the prosecutors want it transferred.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here we go. July 24th, 2004. He faces a new charge of killing his dog.
Yeah.
Yes. This is the Zeus killing.
Yeah.
The Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals there filed a complaint last week concerning the dog's death and Jayson Williams. Because the statute of limitations on criminal charges has expired, the SPCA filed civil charges, which could carry a maximum fine of $250.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Christ. Judy Smith is back. She says this is a blatant attempt to pile on and create publicity about an issue that a judge has already ruled has no place in the trial.
Right.
It has nothing to do with that, though. So, holy shit. August 13th, 2004, they want a retrial in the same venue, Williams' lawyers. That's what they're saying. I want the same judge. I want the same the same examination room. I want the jurors to stay in the same motel.
Identical.
identical. So October 12th, 2004, a local chapter of the Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals was ordered to close because it did not prosecute Jayson Williams over accusations he shot his dog in anger over a bet. They closed it because they didn't take any action on it. So they were ordered to close by the higher-ups in that group. You guys aren't protecting animals if you're not fucking filing charges against someone who shot his dog for no reason. October 25th, 2004, Jayson Williams works out with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Huh?
Right.
The fuck are you talking about? Yeah. His Cavaliers coach, Paul Silas, said he wants to play. Great. Good for him. What are you... The fuck? We worked him out a little bit, and he can still play. He can certainly help somebody. He said he didn't know whether Cleveland would sign Williams or not. Yeah. Maybe wait till after his reckless manslaughter trial to fucking... Jesus Christ.
How much winning is he helping you do if he's busy in court?
Yeah, that's another thing. He's going to have a lot of court shit. November 24th, 2004.
Yeah.
Fluff piece time. He's a good guy.
Let's talk
He's
about
just a good guy.
Yeah.
Jayson Williams donates turkeys.
Oh.
Yeah, Jayson Williams spread some Thanksgiving cheer Tuesday when he donated nearly 100 turkeys to local families in need.
What a guy.
Oh, boy, what a guy. Yeah, this is a fucking Nino Brown trick. Like, this is... What are you, a mobster in the 40s? Like, what the fuck are you doing? This is the oldest I'm a scumbag, I'll fucking make the neighborhood at least like me shit that you can do. So Williams and his wife, Tanya, distributed the turkeys in Thanksgiving Day baskets Tuesday afternoon at TJ's Auto Spa on Somerset Street.
A car wash.
Yep. Williams said, God has blessed our family, and we enjoy giving back to those in need. I care about the community and get great joy in giving back, as long as no limo drivers need a turkey. Shit, did he shoot the fucking turkeys himself?
When you cook these, be careful. There's a lot of shotgun pellets.
Yeah, really. You know what? Go ahead and put a big... You got a strong magnet at all? Because if you do, I'd go over it once or twice.
Yeah.
January 12th, 2005... Facing retrial, Williams is only interested in making his return to the basketball court.
Is that right?
He signs with the Idaho Stampede of the Continental Basketball Association, scoring 2 points after signing his contract in the first one. Oh, they're huge. Everybody knows about them. Yeah. He hopes to use it as a springboard for his return to the NBA. He'll be
2 points.
37 next month.
Jesus Christ.
The only 37-year-old big man I can remember being any half decent was Dikembe Mutombo because he wasn't a scorer, and fucking Akeem Olajuwon because he's a freak of nature.
Wasn't Vlade pretty good at late age?
No, Vlade got
he was just hung around.
Stiffer and fatter. Yeah. That's all he did. Most guys centers don't get better with age. No. Big guys like that.
Matter of fact, that Blockhead died of cancer at 43.
Did he? Oh, yeah, he did die. Yes, he is die. Shinbone's dead. That's right.
Jesus.
So he said, Williams says this, interested NBA teams want assurances that I'm fully recovered and can withstand the rigors of daily competition. I'd also want to make sure you weren't going to shoot anybody else. That'd be my main issue.
Also, don't use the word rigor.
Yeah, no rigor at all. Good fucking point. The very competitive CBA will provide me with this opportunity.
Uh-huh.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, he didn't even start against the Yakima Sun Kings. And you want to start against the Phoenix Suns? No.
Yeah,
he played 9 minutes.
Suns or the Kings.
He drew a polite cheer from the crowd of 2,367 when he made his way onto the floor. I felt great. I really appreciated it. I was a little rusty. I'm glad we got a win. These guys look awesome.
Yeah.
This is fucking wild.
Unbelievable, man.
He appeared to run without problems and was going out of his way to be gracious, at one point profusely thanking a towel girl. Good God. He was the last to leave the autograph table, too.
Mm-hmm.
Idaho coach Joe Wolf, who played against Williams in the NBA, said Williams hasn't had a chance to practice with the team before the game. He hasn't run our sets, but he showed tremendous energy. I expect a lot from him. A lot from him. He said this is a season ticket holder from the Stampede. Because it's a season ticket holder. How's this affect your ticket buying?
Right.
And he said everybody needs a second chance. He's still on trial. He's not even past his first chance yet. If he was a carpenter or a car salesman, someone would hire him. Yes, because no one buys tickets to watch a carpenter. That's the difference.
But he's not.
He's not. He plays basketball. This is what he does. Not anymore.
Give it time. He might be a carpet salesman.
Yeah. No shit. You never know. Bill Stroud, another fan, said he's probably got a few attorney's fees to pay.
Yeah, a lot.
I would say. Stampede signed him. The general manager said the best case scenario would be that he performs really well, we win ball games, and the NBA makes him the third call-up from the Stampede this season. Yeah. This is CBA was before the G League and all that, D League and G League. Now they don't. I don't think the CBA even exists anymore because they have those. The NBA sponsors their own minor leagues there. February 3rd, 2005 here. Jayson Williams leaves the Stampede.
He's done?
He's done. He's left to help care for his ailing father.
Oh.
Yeah, he signed with the team January 12th, and somehow in 3 weeks his father went from fine to Jayson Williams needs to come home.
Yeah.
He's been placed on the inactive reserve list, which gives Idaho room to sign another player. Williams can be reactivated at any time. So he appeared in 7 games, averaging 10 points and 10.6 rebounds in 25.4 minutes per game.
Wow.
Which is very average numbers, and that's in a league where there's no NBA players.
Yeah, in the not tip-top
yeah, that says a lot there. The Stampede's next games are against Dakota in the Idaho Center. Okay. February 18th, 2005, judge orders Williams' retrial to be put on hold.
Oh?
Yep, put on hold until a state court of appeals rules on several issues, including a request to dismiss the case.
Okay.
So he said he had no choice but to delay the trial. He said the ruling came more than a week after the state appellate division agreed to review Coleman's rulings, including a denial to dismiss the case based on arguments a retrial would violate Williams' right against double jeopardy. Oof. The request for jurors has already gone out. If I do nothing, 300 people will be walking in that door at taxpayers' expense, the judge said. So we have to fucking delay this. He said we can't be halfway through the trial and have the appellate division decide against the trial court's decision.
Right.
Which makes sense. You know, we're not going to waste a bunch of time and money for nothing here, is what it is. So what a fucking mess. By the way, from this time, March 9th, 2005, Jay Williams, says that he wants his name back. Jayson Williams.
Oh, does he?
White chocolate, quote unquote, Jayson Williams.
He's tired of being confused for a murderer?
He changed his first name from Jason to Jay in his professional way, so he, wouldn't a switch he said he never approved. Mm-hmm. It said it happened in New York the night before the 2002 draft when he was drafted by Chicago. An advisor suggested the name change to avoid confusion with the guy who, is accused of shooting a guy.
Right.
So he's like, shit. So Williams told a reporter, this is Jayson Williams, told a reporter, said a reporter overheard the conversation, and the next day it was reported to the New York media that he changed his name. And he said, everybody was calling me that, so I just let it go. Everybody's just calling me Jay, so I just said, fuck it, I guess I'm Jay. But now he's in the league a few years. He's like, I want to be called by my name now, Jayson.
I'd like to be called Jayson Williams.
No one ever, yeah. And he's not coming back from Idaho here.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, we're not going to be on the same court ever. I'm going to take his number, too.
Yeah, I'm going to get that as well, man. So, now, June 28th, 2005, a court rules that the county must pay a newspaper's $38,866.79 in legal fees under the Open Public Records Act because apparently this is from the successful court battle from the newspaper to make the 911 call public. Remember we talked about that? Mm-hmm. The state appeals court ruled. The appellate division reversed a 2003 decision which ordered the state to pay the Courier's attorney fees. At the time, they ruled the prosecutor's office was performing a state law enforcement function when it denied to the tape recording. But in a 14-page decision, a three-judge panel ruled that the Hunterdon County prosecutor's office, not the state, is responsible for all these legal fees. So this was just the estate fighting with each other to see who was going to pay what. Is it coming out of the county? Is it coming out of the state? Where's it coming? Here's another fluff piece, and we'll probably end this week's on this one. So,
okay,
because we can't finish it this week unless we do a 4-hour show.
Jesus.
So we'll spread it out to a fourth part next week. and we have no choice. So September 29th, 2005, Jayson rebounds nicely is a Daily News headline. Xnet hosting bash for lawyer's crime novel.
Oh, his lawyer's got a book.
That is wild. They said it's been just a year since the acquittal, but apparently that's enough time for Williams and his wife Tanya to throw a book party tonight at Il Postino for his lawyer Linda Kenny, who repped him in the civil suit, which he settled for $2.75 million against him. That's all the Christoffi's got out of that. So
2.75? That's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
It's fucked up.
Dropping the bucket for him, but still.
Probably rather have him.
Fuck yeah. And former New York City Chief Medical Examiner Michael Baden, Kenny's husband. She's Michael Baden's wife, this fucking twat. I wonder if she's a liar too. The return address on the invitation, which omits Jason's name, is the Williams Who Knew Estates in Milford, New Jersey, the scene of the death. The husband and wife team's novel Remains Silent conjures a terrifying vortex of murder and deceit, according to Random House's PR material, a mounting body count, and a shocking cover-up. They asked, is this irony? Is this like rich irony? This is what Tanya Williams, Jason's wife, said. I find your question bizarre. Do you really? So pretend that reality doesn't exist is the thing that drives me the most fucking crazy. Whether it's like news people saying shit that they know is debunked and know it's whatever just because they know people will click, and whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. Intentional being full of shit makes me jump up and down and like slam my feet into the ground and want to punch people. I can't take it.
You know what you did.
You know what you did. She said it would be along this line of saying that I shouldn't see a movie that involves an accident.
Oh, really?
My husband's read the book. My friends have read the book. You should read the book.
No.
I don't want to.
I don't like to read.
I'm not reading that. I do, and I'm still not reading your book. I look for shit to read for like this. Not if it's a novel. I don't want to read this fucking novel.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I want true shit, but I don't want this asshole. So Kenny told the newspaper, the cases in the book are drawn from real cases, but there's nothing to do with the Jayson Williams case. It's absolutely irrelevant.
Right.
Sure it is here. That's fucking funny. Now, I'll give one more thing. October 19, 2005. The court is weighing a bid to scrap the retrial. Jayson wants it tossed out. He wants it out.
Of course he does.
Yeah, they said, you got to let him out here. His lawyer said, under the facts, it's inequitable or unequitable to allow the state to have another bite of the apple. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, which it's not because he was acquitted of that. He was acquitted of one thing, not the other thing. So we'll leave it off at there. Will Jayson do this here? He is, by the way, does have to sell his house. We'll give you that next. On November 2nd, 2005, he sold his $8 million. He sold it for $8 million, his house.
He sold Who Knew for $8 million?
He sold Who Knew for $8 million. So something tells me all of this is draining his funds, man.
Yeah.
The price per square foot here set a record for a single-family home in the county. Yep. The buyer, John Leonetti of Colts Neck, owner of the Lorsha Petroleum Services in Elizabeth. That's who he is. So there you go.
He's an oil guy.
So the Who Knew Ranch is now, nobody knows.
He knows ranch.
He knows.
Yeah.
It's the That Guy Knows Ranch.
Yeah.
So we know that for a fact, and we will
A man
move off.
sleeps in that room. Jesus.
That's wild. Yeah, somebody sleeps in the dead, but I mean, all these murder houses get sold eventually.
Yeah.
A lot of times they get knocked down, though, or something, but this guy's not knocking down a 27,000 square foot house.
That's a lot of square footage.
He's like, who hasn't killed a limo driver? I'll get over it.
I'll sleep in another room.
Yeah. Rich guys all kill limo drivers. It's fine.
I'm just going to use that room for my gun storage anyway, because he's probably got a lot of guns, too.
I'm sure he does.
All these guys have so many fucking guns.
Well, yeah, especially he's moving to a house with a shooting range on it. You'd think he got guns here. So we'll get into the rest of it next week. We'll find out, will he ever be convicted? Will he ever serve? He still hasn't been sentenced for the fucking shit he got convicted for. How much longer will this guy skate? It's been almost 5 years now.
Will he pay with any time at all?
So far, all he's done is paid $2.5 million. So we have no idea. We'll get to that next week. We will definitely wrap it up next week. So that'll be Jayson Williams Part 4 next week. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, tell everyone about it. Please get on whatever app you're on. Tell your friends. Tell everybody about it. Give a nice review. Just be there for the team here. You know what I mean? Let's do this. We won't invite you into our houses and shoot you. We promise.
No.
So do that.
I won't even invite you to my house. How about that?
No, you can't come in, number one. If you are in, maybe I probably will shoot you then because you haven't been invited. But if we invite you, we promise you it won't result in death, accidental or otherwise. So do that. Definitely follow us at shutupandgivememurder.com or go to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows, tickets for the virtual live show and for Halloween. That's a good one. Be there for that, just like a regular live show. But in your living room, do all of that shit. Definitely follow on social media at Crime in Sports and patreon.com/Crime in Sports. Hundreds of back episodes, anybody $5 a month or above. You get all this bonus shit you've never heard before, not available publicly. New ones every other week, and we'll figure out what those are a little closer to them. Get on that, and you also get a shout-out at the end of the show, which is happening. Holy shit, I think it's right now. Jimmy, hit me with the names of the most wonderful goddamn people who would never, ever, ever accidentally or otherwise shoot us with a shotgun and then hide their clothes. Hit me with them right now.
The executive producers are Peter Musachuk, Sean Hackett, Dustin Hackett, Dustin and Sean Hackett, both of you.
Oh,
Hackett.
We got all
Amy
the Hackett
Conley,
boys covered.
Amy Conley, and the 988 hotline. If you or anybody you know are struggling, please call the 988 hotline. That way you don't have to have a 1-800 number for the suicide hotline anymore. Now it's the 988. So just utilize it if you're struggling.
Yeah, you should.
Jordan Bennett and the Redfern family in what is this, Mansfield Woodhouse? That's in fucking England or somewhere.
Oh, it doesn't
in the
sound
UK
American.
somewhere. No,
yeah,
it's not.
Sounds fancy.
Mansfield Woodhouse. That feels like a fucking a campus.
Yeah, it does.
A college, and also
tea-soaked campus.
Yeah, Zechariah Ward. Thank you all so much for what you do.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Other producers this week are Peyton Meadows, Tiffany Gonzalez. Happy birthday, Tiffany. Janice Hill.
Happy birthday.
Terry Fairs. Jess with no last name. Elizabeth with no last name. Logan Austin. Amber Serpe. Jacqueline E. Alexandra Shea. Brownie, 29. Kimberly Kaiser. KJ. The letters K and J. Regina Kuzmanich. Mary McIntosh, Oliesa Luzina, Elizabeth Richmond, Roger with no last name, Sanja Serwin, Maddox Vaughn 820, Angela Hanan, Melissa Allen. That might be the one in San Diego. May not be. It could be too.
If you're in San Diego, big ups
Melissa,
to you.
Thank you. Callie Cadell, Peak Seeker, Caitlin and Valley, the Pissed Off Pole Cock. Is it Pole Cock? Is that something? Is that a country?
Maybe he's a Polish man who's pissed off.
Very.
About his
Alyssa
cock.
with no last name. Dana Wilson. Winslow. That's Lynn Savin.
Williams, Winslow, Wilson. It's all the same shit. We don't know.
Austin Jones, Michelle Sicanolfi.
Sicanolfi. I knew a kid named Sicanolfi.
Did you? Well,
yeah, it's in New York. You grew up with
there's
a lot
also
of
Michelle. She's terrific.
a few
too.
Sicanolfis. Yeah, it's one of my best friends in elementary school.
Jimmy with no last name. Britt Williams. Jimmy spelled like Hendrix. Lexi Levine.
Okay.
Justin with no last name. Kasia Brown. Ray Mosier. Yep, Moschler. Junebug. Austin Rivera. Nick Anderson.
Junebug.
Probably not Nick Anderson, the one from the Magic, but it's definitely Uncle Junebug.
Hey, it's okay that you missed those foul shots that time. You were a good player.
You drill threes, man.
Yeah.
Kimberly Alexander, Casey Bowman, Jenny Lee, Sam Ding Dong, Danny with no last name, Luke Allen, Robin Church, Trinity, Jan Peter, Tim with no last name, Nicole Gordano, Aaron with no last name, Betsy with no last name, Darcy Morgan, Dungberry, Lipschitz. Yep, that's true. Chris Franklin, Megan Allen, Dylan Alec maybe, Millicent, Woodland, Aaron Schaus, Landon Fairman, Zoe Wenzel, Tiffany Oliver, Sierra Garrett, Heidi Northrup, Superman. There's a space, so it's not Superman.
Superman. Oh, that's not the Superman?
It's not the
That's
Superman.
a disappointment. I thought the Superman was hitting us up. Damn it.
Suzanne Baker, Jamie with no last name, Rhiannon McLeod maybe, Emil Lilac, Maddie R, Lisa with no last name, Delaney with no last name, Heather Bean, Awesome Mama 77, Chrissy Menke, Kathleen Brewski, Grace Adams, Whitney Futrell, Jasmine Utt, Chavez Sailor, Mary Close, David, David Pearson, Nicole with no last name, Tiffany Briggs, Michelle with no last name, Khalees, Amber and Marissa, Patrick Wilson, Jordan Herringer, Dominic with no last name, Dolores Turnbow, she's terrific, Ann Gall, Shane Loss, John Oyer, maybe like Michael Orr. It's spelled like that.
Like
Oyer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ice Pick 420. Tony Fox. James Little. Barlow 66. Mar Lemke. Jess Desimio. All right. Deanna Thibodeau. I don't know. Tybo L. Corey Thompson.
Tybo.
Joe Hieronymus. What is this? Hieronymus. Hieronymus? Cheyenne with no last name. Loveriel. Chase with no last name. Tabby Schmidt. Casey Fitzpatrick. Mrs. McDonald. Dave. I need tickets for Terrytown. Graziano.
They're out
Why don't
there.
you check the internet, Daddy-O?
Benjamin
Carlin. Connor O'Brien. My Truth Today, Patricia Baker, Bill Mellinson. Bill's back. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Billy
that
boy.
Guy's terrific. Rebecca Hendricks, Jody Wilson, Alexis Danger Chicken, Victoria with no last name, Brittany Adami, Melissa Strange, Tony with no last name, Mary McIntosh, Christy Sandoval, Deb 1447, Allie Bosworth, Sabrina Randall, Melissa Sargent, Linda Quinn, Caitlin Carroll, Rachel Brown, Gianna Hard. You betcha. Gianna
Yeah.
Hard. Maria O, Whitney Hand, Samantha Strasner, Jen R, Michaela Bone, Kimberly Clear, Jason Weiss, Kathy Calucci, Nicholas Johnston, David Markham, Timothy Costa perhaps, Ace with no last name, Todd Hartman, Heather Johnson, Benjamin Johnson, Caleb Eversole, Johnson. It's with an E, Johnson. Johnson with an E, like Peterson with an E.
Yeah, I guess still M.
Wilson with an E. That's weird.
I've never seen that one.
I haven't either. I just made it up. Big Daddy Trap.
Oh,
Travis Jarrell from Sugar Butt. Anthony Martucci, Suzanne Estray Shepard, Cece like the pizza. Bailey Gasper, Nikki Lasnier. Michelle Perry, Lucy Rodriguez, Daniel David Uppadel. What? Junior. Daniel.
Wow.
That last name's
Someone else has that
motherfucker.
name.
And all of our patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for all that you do for us. Honestly, it's how the show keeps going. Thank you for what you do for us, and we'll keep pumping out the Patreon if you keep listening. We will not stop.
Humiliation's not my kink. I don't like reading at all, and we do that because you guys are terrific, and you deserve the credit for what you're doing for the show. So thank you.
No shit. Thank you so much, and for all that you do for us. If you would like to follow us on social media, very easily to do, I just said. I can't speak. You can go to shutupandgivememurder.com. There's a drop-down menu with all that shit. Come there, hang out with us.
Yeah.
Follow us on everything. Listen to all the other shows, Small Town Murder, Your Stupid Opinions. Be there and hang out with us. And until next, that's the other one. Live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.